Hi guys, in this video we will use Sniffed on Kali Linux to scan a target server, identify vulnerabilities and uncover admin credentials. So let's get started. So open a new terminal in Kali machine. So this is the new terminal that I've opened. So basically we want to launch a new terminal in Kali Linux, and then so in this scenario, I have the target machine with the IP address 192.168.217.101. So this is the target machine IP address that I'm going to target in this video. Yours may be different. All right. So the first thing is I want to run a basic scan, and in this case I'm using Sniffed. So I have Sniffed -h 192.168.217.101. So basically what I did here is that I'm using a tool called Sniffed, and then I'm using an option which is basically a flag, and this flag here is specifying the host we are targeting, and in this case the IP address 192.168.207.101. Right, so hit enter. So in a couple of minutes, you should be able to get an output or an outcome of this scan. So Sniffed scans the web server and reveals an interesting detail about this system. So if you go into this system, you can see the scan is still going on. But if you look at this, you could see that the target IP address is shown here. The target host name is this, and then a port number is open. So you could see that port 80 is one of the ports on this very system. If you go through this, you could see that this is also there's a PHP server. Okay, there's a PHP server that was used, and then there are other information that says that a PHP admin, my admin directory. So it definitely means that this server has an admin web page that admin usually logs in to maybe add users, delete users, or carry out different assign rules to the users on the system, or do different kinds of things. So you could say that port 80 is open and it's running a PHP-based server. We can see a PHP information exposed. So if you look at this, you could see that there's a PHP information is exposed. So if, for instance, you copy this, for instance, and then open a web browser, and let's say type http 192.168.207.101, and then we want to now see if there is any PHP information about this according to this. Boom. So you could say that this is a PHP page, and this PHP page is actually very it's open. So it's going to be useful to us later. So the next thing we want to do is that let's now carry out a scan to find out. Let's scan for admin page, right, using a different port now. So I'm going to have Sniffed, write the command Sniffed space that port 8180 -h 192.168.207.101. So basically what we're doing now is that we are scanning port 8180, which is commonly used by web services like Apache, right? So, and then you know what this, we're basically targeting, specifying the target IP address of the server. So let's hit enter to see if we are going to find anything interesting. Okay. Boom. So you can see that the system is beginning to bring out a lot of information, bring about a lot of information. We're still waiting. Okay, say this is a Tomcat Apache. It has shown the Apache, the default account system, this. So now that we have seen so many information about this very target machine, we want to now attempt default credentials. All right. So Now, we usually know that sometimes default credentials could be something like admin or password kind of a thing. But before we do that, we want to also perform a scan. And in this scan, we want to save an output. So let's see how we can save the output of this scan. So I'm going to ask Nicto. So have Nicto. I want to save the output of this scan now. So Nicto space -h, and then the IP address 192.168.207.101, and then -0. So I'm going to output this into a file, and I'm going to call the file txt file. It's a text file, okay, .nicto. So .nicto, all right, and then I'm giving it a file format, which is a txt file format, and I'm specifying my port number to be 8180. So basically what I did here is that we want to save the output to a text file using the O option flag, right, which is basically for the file, and then also the file format, which is the -f space txt, which is basically the file format, so that can help us with the beta analysis of this very output. So I'm going to hit boom now, and then give it some time to see if there is anything interesting that will come up. Now we can see that the result is out. So if you, okay, it's still coming up here, not yet. Give it some time to see, it's still coming up. I said this might be interesting, so there's something interesting about this result here. Okay, you can see that there's something, there's an admin page on this very system. Okay, so now based on what we have seen here, there's an admin page. So let me go back into this very server here and then take out this to see if I can get the admin page. But because since I have the port number 8180, so I'm going to slash this and then add admin, because this is what I have seen. This is what I've seen here. So I can just copy the whole of this or just manually type it. So I'll copy this here and then type admin, but then you take out the double slash this. So let's hit enter to say bam. So now this scan has actually revealed the admin page of this very system. Okay. So the next thing is, now that we have found the admin page on this very system, we want to see if we could get the login details, if we could actually extract the login details of this particular system. All right, so now let's try to attempt typing in some credentials to say, and usually most you know, most systems come in with common default, right? So we want to attempt to log in with default credentials. So here, let me type in admin, for instance, and then in the password, let me type password, and try to log into this. So now you could say that invalid user or password. To try again, click here. So you could see that this system doesn't have the default credentials as admin and password. Or you can also try something. Let's try username as a username, and then type here password and try to see if you can log in. So it shows that this is also invalid, which means that the default login details of this system doesn't come with the usual username as admin and the password as password. All right, so this shows us that all our login attempt failed. Okay, oops, it means that those logins are invalid. So how do we extract the credentials now? How do we extract the login details credentials? So if you go back to this command that we run here, this very command, we want to see the total output of this command. So now I have run the command already, but if not run it, you can actually run the command to save the output so that you can be able to go through them in your text file. So to find the output of this command that was saved in the text file.nicto, which is a file that we wanted the whole of this output to be saved to, you can actually find it here. go in here so you can see that this file is here called textfile.nic2. You can give it any name when you are scanning. So now that we have found this file, let's try to see if we can see anything interesting, if it's going to show us any credentials. So let's scroll through it and see. This is the target server, this. Okay, go through this. Okay, it shows that it's a restricted access on the admin page. Interesting. Okay, this. Okay, log in this. But then it shows that default account found, and this is showing that the ID here is Tomcat. So the ID actually represents the username, and then the password PW here is also the password, which represents the password of this very system. So now, having found the ID to be Tomcat and the password to be Tomcat, let's go back to this page and then try to type Tomcat under the password, under the username, and then the password is also Tomcat based on what we have seen there, and then click login. Boom. Now here we have logged into the system. So as a pen tester, as an ethical hacker, you can say that this is not, the system is not secure at all. So if you click on user, you could see all the users into the system. If you click on roles, on groups, you could see we have the manager, we have the admin, we have this, we have that they can do a lot of things. So you could see that we have, we have successfully extracted the admin login details into the system, and we actually log into the system. All right. So now that we have extracted the admin login credentials. If you found this video helpful, please like and share for more tutorials. Thank you, guys.